Hello everybody. Making this video because I found something about Combat Mission, GOG version of Combat Mission that you might find interesting, especially if you have the original Combat Mission installations either from CD or bought from Gamersgate or um, anywhere else, even Battlefront.com when it was available. GOG.com now has all three Combat Mission games from the first series. Beyond Overlord, Barbaros of Berlin, and Africa Core. So it's pretty cool. I think it's $5 USD. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it was available for a lot more than this on their main website. Well, I mean, Beyond Overlord was first published here under the Storage First label, but it was taken down a few months ago and it returned recently. I don't know how long it has been, but maybe the license expired or Battlefront.com bought the license back from whoever now controls Strategy First. But now they made everything work and then make every game in the series available. Pretty cool. Yeah, I was wondering because now I get to access at least one game of the bunch, Beyond Overlord, which I purchased here a few years ago. So I was wondering whether there's any difference between the new installation, now sanctioned by the Battlefront.com, and the previous version released by the Strategy First. So I mean, I checked the directories, and here is the new version, and this is the original one that I managed to save before installing the new one. There's, I mean, has more, let's see, 38 items and 36 items, so there is some difference. And I managed to hone in on these three files: directdraw.dll, dxcfg, and dxcfg initiation file. So these three files makes this game compatible, fully compatible with Windows 10. So if you have seen one of my LPs from the Beyond Overlord, I think I mentioned a couple of times that I had to alt tab the game out because originally the game didn't run well on Windows 10. It chugged, unplayable. So I had to alt tab out and then return to the game and suffer like 8 in 10 game just crashing out into desktop. But then if I managed to go back into the game, then the game ran pretty well. But now using these files, you are able to just run it without any problem. And I'm going to show you, hopefully. Yeah, you can see that the game is really snappy. I can also find difference from the previous version is that the gamma is a bit bright. That's what I can tell you right now from the outset. But aside from that, and the missing Strategy First logo is now replaced by the Battlefront.com, there isn't any difference. Obviously, the Strategy First version had all these different mod files, I think, added to it that makes the Unity look better. But I think you can do this outside of this game, download all these different textures to improve the game the same way that the previous version had. Okay, so let's try, just to test whether this game runs good. Okay, alright, so let's try something with the tigers. Yeah, showing off the tanks. Access. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, the game runs really well, really smooth, and you can even check the tanks. And yeah, the texture is probably back to original. Not really that great, but you can install all the great textures available online. I think it's still available on the, I don't know what the name of the repository was, but yeah, it is available still online. And since Beyond Overlord is rather similar game to the other games in the series, namely Africa Core and Barbaros of Berlin, I wanted to try out whether these files also work in those installations, although it's not a GOG installations. Yeah, so I have all the combination directories here: Barbaros to Berlin, Africa Core. And Africa Core, as you might have known, I played in the last LP series, and I had to use the Alt-Tab method, which is basically without these files. And I guess I show you. So originally I had to, like Ambush for example, I had to play and then suffer long load times and possibility of crashes to desktops. Yeah, as you can see, those, I don't know, I think it uses only a single core and some very low priority or something. I don't really understand the technical details, but this is what I had to go through. Yeah, so it's also loading some kind of sandstorm, so maybe that's why it's taking a long time. I mean, I probably would have to edit this as well. Just taking so much time to load. But Battlefront.com and GOG did it. They somehow managed to, develop a DLL file or tune it to be perfectly suited to this game on Windows 10. Yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah, Sandstorm is here, but this is basically a picture show. Yeah, it's unplayable. So many tanks, so many men. Yeah. The textures here are definitely vastly improved over the first game, so that's a plus. But I don't know whether this is because of the box version I have also included all the, mods or something, texture mods that is able to benefit from. Yeah, so this is it. Just checking out the tank here. Yeah. So I exit. I could alt tab out, but there is a possibility of crash, and it's going to obviously mess up with my recording. Okay, so now that we have seen, what kind of problems that we have, let's get the original GOG. Let's go back to the original, GOG directory here, and then copy the directraw dll dx cfg configuration file and the init setting file, all three here. Just drop in the main directory of your installation file, and this is just the box version installed from CD, and I think with the file that allows you to skip the CD check. Yeah, so that's also included here. And let's also erase this AK preference file. So AK means Africa Core. It might be different from Barbarossa to Berlin. Yeah, BB. So it's just a preference file that stores your resolution settings or preference. So I deleted it once again. You don't have to, but I deleted it just to make sure that it works. Yeah, so it asks you to accept it. I accept. Yeah, and I think you have seen the CDV label. That's another publisher responsible for publishing Common Mission game. I think it's also out of business or something, or it's not. I don't know whether it's out of business, but yeah, it doesn't publish this game anymore. Alright, so let's go back to Ambush. And it's going to be an eye-opener. Yeah, as you can see, the loading time just cuts by, I don't know, 10 times. And then you're able to play the game as it was intended to be played on Windows 10, 64-bit. And checking out the tank once again. Yeah, the Crusader. As you can see, it's all smooth and you don't have to like alt tab out. The game is recording well, so no problems there. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to show, but there's one more thing, which is going into the DirectX configuration, configuration file, and then there's some adjustments that you can do to make the game look even better. So I just focused on this tank for a while and see the jaggies here. of the turret or the, yeah, gun. And then I come back after adjusting the graphics. All right, so here is that executable file, application file that you can open, and then you can see all the display mode options. Full screen, I don't know whether this actually works, but I think, it's better playing full screen, although you can try. But I want to just get this thing changed to maximum amount of enhancement. So yeah, it's going to present the best available graphics that is possible from these files. So let's save. And saving just merely changes the ini file here. Yeah, ini file that basically has all the information. So I guess if you want to, you can just change it directly from this file. Yeah, so it's just merely connected graphical interface for this initiation file. All right, let's go back and see if there's any difference. I mean, if you're playing with like resolutions as high as 1600 by 1200, it's going to be very difficult to find anything too different. But maybe in more high contrast environment, not like this, where every truck and tank seems to be colored in the desert color, you might be able to see more difference, or much stark difference. So yeah, I mean the game runs pretty well. There's really no negatives in terms of performance. It doesn't really take away from anything. Smooth as silk, as if you have no enhancement on. But checking out the turret here, you can see that this gun, yeah, is smoother. As you can see, it's smoother and has all the anisotrophic filtering, so it kind of works. Although at this kind of resolution is kind of hard to see, but yeah, definitely can see that this is smooth. Everything's so smooth. All right, so this is something that I found out, and maybe hopefully may help you if you have the original games to enjoy it further without having to alt tab out of the game to make it run, and also enjoying the enhancements, if however little that these DLL files bring to the game. Yeah, once again, very thankful for GOG and Battlefront that made these files available, and also the entirety of the first Combat Mission series available on GOG.com. So if you buy one, then you can enhance and upgrade your previous versions of Combat Mission, no added cost. I think previously they offered Battlefront.com offered this Vista compatibility patch for $5 or so that you have to install to make the game run in Vista. And yeah, I mean, there was that, but now they don't have anything here, only the latest games. And then the first Combat Mission game is all back on GOG.com. There's still a Gamersgate version, but I mean, GOG.com version is far superior, so yeah, you might as well purchase it from here. Of course, it's no brainer if you're interested. And not only that, they have a Beyond Overlord also. And I think from the pictures, I think they already have the enhanced textures. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to make a video about. Hope you find it useful if you are a fan of Combat Mission games. And I return with the further scenario from Barbarossa to Berlin. Yeah, so I hope you have a great day and see you next time.